Chris. Well, he was a man ahead of his time. We're talking about Leonardo da Vinci. He was an artist and an inventor, and many of his ideas are still around in machines we use every day. You can see machines like these at the Cranbrook Institute of Science in Bloomfield Hills. With us right now is Cameron Wood. He's the curator of collections and anthropology educator at Cranbrook. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for bringing these heavy items. So tell me a little bit about what these machines are and how they're tied with Da Vinci.
Well, most of us, of course, know Leonardo da Vinci is the artist, the guy who did the Mona Lisa. But many people are also aware that he was very much a scientist and an inventor. And while the exhibition we have does have reproductions of a lot of his artistic work, since we're the Cranbrook Institute of Science, it's focusing on his scientific achievements. So,
for example, what's that?
This is his attempt at a helicopter.
Okay.
It's said that when he was born, a kite swooped over his cradle and he just had a fascination with flight. He did extensive studies of bird and bat wings and so on, and he designed a number of machines attempting to fly that way, which just doesn't work, but he also played around with this. It's essentially a screw mechanism, and that's essentially all a helicopter's blades are. So he attempted to produce, in essence, a helicopter that would have been powered by 4 gentlemen running in circles around there to turn the rotor to provide the lift to raise it up. The only problem was 4 guys just don't have the power to weight ratio to get the thing off of the ground.
Oh, interesting. So
but the principle was there.
Right, it was worth the effort. It just didn't work.
Correct.
All right, let's move on a little bit. What else do you have here?
Well, this, as I mentioned, is essentially a screw mechanism, as is this. He did a lot of practical mechanical engineering work for his clients, and this is a device, and you can go ahead and give it a crank, that would be familiar to most any mechanical engineer. This is what's called a worm gear arrangement. This is the worm up top here, and as you turn it, it's transferring the energy this way, to, in this case, raise or lower a weight.
And if I was to go backwards, it goes the other way. And what would something like this be used for?
He designed it as a construction tool. As you were building all those great cathedrals and buildings, you needed to lift those heavy blocks, and this was a crane mechanism that he designed for them to use.
Interesting. And let's go over in the middle. I see you have a mirror with a marker and paper. Tell me about that.
Well, one of the areas that we have in the exhibition is a hands-on area, of course for kids, although adults play around in it all the time too. And you can play with a lot of his different inventions. You can build a parachute. This didn't work, but he did build a working parachute. But Da Vinci is also famous for writing in a very unique fashion. He was a lefty and a genius, so to make life easy for himself, he wrote backwards in mirror image writing. That allowed his hand to not get in the way of the ink, and potentially it kept all of his invention writing secret.
Can you give us an example?
Well, I will give it a shot, and then we'll see if you can handle it here. We're not geniuses like Leonardo da Vinci, so it's
well, speak for yourself. No, I was kidding.
Okay.
No, trust me.
So you have to think about, how do I write in reverse? Now, for Da Vinci, he just did this as a matter of routine, but for us, it's not so easy. I'm attempting to write my name backwards, and we'll see if the camera can push in on it. If you hold it up into the mirror, how you do. And hopefully that says, Cameron, oh, I got my E and M backwards, though.
That's a good shot.
It was an attempt at it.
He actually wrote lefty and wrote that in his own little mirror code.
Yep, all the time. And he didn't require a mirror. He would just do it because, as I say, he was Leonardo da Vinci and we're not.
Right, which is so interesting because you have to think your name backwards.
In reverse, right.
Yeah,
you can,
I'm going to give it a shot.
Oh, she's going to give it a shot here, okay.
You see, my name is a little bit easier, I think. So it's okay. So how did we do this now?
And
we
then
have to
hold it up to the mirror, and it might be difficult for us to see.
There you go. Wait, yeah.
But yep, the idea is, did you get your name correct?
Yes!
There you go. Absolutely.
All right, that is the most talent I have compared to Da Vinci right there. That's the only thing I can say.
I won't make you draw the Mona Lisa. We'll give you a break.
Yeah, please do. All right, well, the information is on your screen right there. You can check out this exhibit at the Cranbrook Institute of Science. This goes on until January?
January 13th will be the closing day for it.
And is there any sort of extra admission fee?
There is. It is in our traveling exhibit hall, so there is an additional fee. And that depends on whether you're a member or a child or a senior and so on.
Well, you know what? At least the information's coming to us. We didn't have to go to Italy to go get it. Right?
Absolutely not. Nope, this came from Italy. There you go.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing these machines. And we'll be back with more news and weather in just a bit, including a really cool story about a lost engagement ring. You'll want to check it out.